I also can prophesize the future, and I also can see subliminal messaging.
Okay, I'll tell you what, Miss Pillsbury's slow girl. Now, I'm
What, really? I'm pretty sure I could truck the shit out of you, you fucking overgrown baby.
Dude, whatever you're smoking, buy a ton of it.
I'm the greatest smack talker on the fucking face of the earth right now.
Possibility of women playing in the league, I don't think it's impossible.
You fucking punk-ass bitch!
Jesus Christ, that hurt. I'm still gonna
I'm fucking real, bro. You ain't shit.
Well, this is smacking off. If you don't like it, change your diaper and leave.
Don't be ridiculous right now, okay?
I'd rather watch softcore porn than have to watch all that.
No, that's how you make coke. You miss from there, you gotta cross it.
Bro, who invited this dude, bro? What the fuck? Get this dude out of here, bro.
No, USC is far better than Oklahoma historically.
Oh, your meatloaf is moist as my pussy gets. I promise you that.
Okay.
Oh shit, this has turned into Kang Arthur's drug class.
How long?
They need you back at the cash register in 5 minutes.
Well, Tiki's life pipe minus the entertainment value.
Smack off. Smacking off the podcast is starting in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's up, everybody? Smacking off the podcast. I'm your host, Shannon Madden. I'm joined with Doug Phillips. What's up, Doug?
Less than 3 days till the
Man,
first
I
game.
cannot
Less than
fucking
3 days.
wait. Even though we have to be forced to watch fucking Miami and Florida, but whatevs. It's some football, goddammit.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I would watch just about anything at this point.
I mean, this was a big
College
game.
football
This was a
related,
game
of course.
Big game back in the day. I mean, by the day, I mean the 1980s.
Is it still a big game? I guess we're going to talk about that tonight.
It's a pretty big game that day because
there's a lot of new things happening in Miami. They got a new coach, they got a new quarterback, they got there's a lot of new transitions going on there. New safeties on the defense. Just a lot of transition took place.
We got a guy that's going to come on that knows a whole shitload about it.
Who that is?
Dr. Sean Devine.
I know that guy.
I don't think he's really a doctor.
He might be. He's a doctor of smackology. We know that for a fact.
Eric Easterwood is a doctor. Well, I'm not sure if it's.
Is Eric Easterwood really a doctor?
If he's not, he should be. Goddamn.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Also, yeah, we're going to talk about Felipe Franks in great detail too. That may not work out so hot for some folks. All right, let's do it. We're going to call Sean Devine as we speak.
Hello.
Sean Devine, what is up? What are you doing?
He's beating somebody up. He just hit somebody. Did you hear that?
Did you just hit somebody with your laptop?
No.
Okay, you should have. What's up, man? How you doing?
No, not too much. How you guys doing?
You know,
Great
he
to be
comes
back.
to us from the West Coast these days.
Where are you hailing from? A general location. You don't have to give me your street address.
Well,
He lives two houses down from
I do live in the
Tiggy.
West Coast, but I'm still in Georgia.
You're in Georgia now?
Yes.
Oh. What part of Georgia?
Beautiful Fort Benning, Georgia.
Okay. All right. I guess that's a business trip if you're at
Yes.
Fort Benning.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Okay. Good deal.
But it's had its benefits. Last weekend, popped over, saw Auburn, and then on Sunday went up to the College Football Hall of Fame and knocked that out. So
you actually got to go. Did you get to go to Jordan Hare, or did you just stand around outside? And
yeah, it was closed. So yeah, I just walked around the outside and checked it out. And then,
it is a very impressive facility. I really like as far as college towns goes. Auburn's got a really cool college town. Now
don't tell Walter Bryan.
You go slightly outside of Toomer's Corner though, and there's not much going on in Auburn / Opelika, Alabama.
Yeah, I was shocked. Outside of the Toomer's Corner area, it's. I thought it would be a little bit bigger, kind of a downtown area, but no, it's pretty small.
Yeah, very small. I will tell you this though, when you go there, and I don't know if you got the chance to eat there or not. They've got some really good Korean joints there. Apparently, Auburn has a very high Korean population because there's like 4 or 5 different Korean food joints there that are just the bomb.
I was not aware of that. No, we just went to just a steakhouse right there by the campus. It was fine. It was good eats, but I did not know that out. So next time I'm there, I will
Yeah, I
will
found
check
that
a
out on
Korean joint.
accident. I find myself in Auburn on other business from time to time, and that's the one thing I discovered.
I do love good Korean food. So
Man,
yeah,
I do too. Some kimchi.
I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, that's some delish. Okay, so we're going to have a conversation tonight about our very, very first college football game of the season.
Tell me this: what game you want to discuss first?
Why don't we knock out the? I know most of the people on the East Coast, they're not going to stay up late for the Arizona. So we got just 2 games.
Right.
It's a little appetizer weekend, week 0. We got just 2 games before the big smorgasbord next weekend.
Right.
Well, I mean, really, there's only one game. Let's get down to it.
Sean, don't look at it like that. I can.
Okay, fair enough. Well, that's the conversation. You know.
I'll be brief. So the second game, if you stay up late, 10:30 Eastern kickoff, Arizona at Hawaii. Historically, Arizona leads the series 5 wins to 0. First meeting was in 51. This one's in Honolulu. Really, the only thing of note on this game is there's been a very, very small smattering of Heisman discussion from Arizona quarterback Khalil Tate, who's been in the system for a few years now. Hopes are high in Tucson with him, and of course our good friend Kevin Sumlin is in his 2nd season there at Arizona.
Yeah, we remember him.
Yes. So I'm expecting an Arizona win there.
I mean, he wasn't awful. He wasn't awful at A&M, but I mean, he wasn't anything really to write home about. I mean, let's get down to it.
Right, and Arizona's an 11.5-point favorite. Hawaii's dealing with a tragedy. One of their players just passed away by unknown circumstances. The game is a kickoff at 4:30. It will be in the heat of the day, but Arizona should be fine with that. I expect Arizona to win this game going away. Feel free, if you got nothing better to do, to stay up late and watch it. But that's basically about all you need to know. There's a couple nice players on both clubs. I like wide receiver Trey Adams from Arizona, and then safety Kellen Hicks from Hawaii. He's a senior, 6'3", 215 pounds, out of Las Vegas, who could garner some draft consideration going forward. But that's really all you need to know about that game.
All right, fair enough. So if we're up late, of course that's 9:30 our time, Doug. You going to be up to watch the Hawaii Arizona game?
Fuck, I might.
Yeah, I mean it's been a while since we've
Kevin Sumlin.
Yeah, I mean he's still around.
Did you see the post that Eric Easterwood did asking people to help him make a trolling sign for the crowd?
I did.
Did you see the one I come up with?
I did not. No, I missed it.
Here's what I did.
Today.
I just put Rainbow Warriors ?
Mm-hmm.
I know what that rainbow is all about, and I put the rainbow flag with the Hawaii thing in the middle.
Have you
but
ever
then I
been
told
to
him,
Hawaii?
no, but I know about the demographics over there, and one of 2 things would happen. He'd pick up a male date, or he would get sacrificed down by the volcano.
Yeah, it's either or down there.
Well, one, rainbows that literally appear all the time. It's uncanny. I've been out there a couple of times. It's like every 20 minutes you see a rainbow, so that's pretty interesting. But 2, really, the joke should have been something about meth, because, man, Hawaii has a ton of meth addicts.
Really?
If you ever watch,
I never knew that.
Hunter, yeah, tons of meth addicts.
I don't watch the Bounty Hunter guy.
Only a few episodes, but I just couldn't believe every episode it was meth addict after meth addict after meth addict.
Wow,
So
I never knew that.
Apparently, that's a problem out there.
I mean, we knew about it in Arizona, but wow.
Yeah.
That's like
so.
That really makes me want to go to Hawaii now.
It does.
Not to do the meth, of course, because I can do plenty of meth here. You know, I'm in Alabama. We got lots of meth here.
Very done very well. I mean, they know what they're doing here.
Yeah.
The tons of homeless. Once you get out there and you're home, how do you get back? They don't get back, so they just stay there. I mean, that's.
Yeah, but I mean, where do they just sleep out on the beach
capital.
or something? I guess the homeless. I mean, how do you become? Because I think I could swing being homeless in Hawaii.
It's warm year round. There's plenty of beaches.
Yeah, I mean, homelessness is a horrible situation. I'm not making light of somebody being homeless, but if I was going to be homeless anywhere, definitely Hawaii would work out for me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, the weather's perfect. You can't beat it. I mean, it gets a little hot in the summer, but even in the winter, it's lovely. So, so there's that. That's our kind of.
I mean, don't they have like a bunch of islands out there? Isn't there like a small island that we could just take all the homeless people to and live, kind of start off like anew, kind of like how Australia got started.
You said anew.
I did say anew.
Yeah, there's about 7 islands, I think, in the Hawaiian chain.
But there's like little bitty islands, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you just dump them off on one of the little bitty islands. Nobody's really doing it. They're just good for aerial shots. I mean, I'm just saying.
Just give them a new chance.
Look, I'm over here trying to solve America's homelessness issue. People say that we really, don't take the serious issues seriously on this show, and here we are. I've just solved homelessness in America.
Well, you said the serious issues.
So,
Just by that, you're taking it seriously, are you not?
I took it seriously.
Isn't it redundant to say we're not taking the serious issues seriously?
Can we just move on, please?
We can.
There's plenty of spam out there to eat too. Apparently, that's the delicacy.
Spam
out in Hawaii. Spam's huge out there.
Spam's pretty good. You ever had that canned shit? That's pretty good.
I love spam. Don't get me wrong, but there's just so much about Hawaii I didn't know. I've been.
How do you make fake ham though? Where's it? What do they do? Just gather up like what's left all over the ground and shit, and then bond it together with some glue, and then throw it in a can.
When they say you don't want to see how the sausage is made, I think that's one of them, Doug. I think you want to know how
or
spam
hot
is
dogs,
made.
unless they're kosher, of course. So tell us about someone. How's someone going to fuck this one up?
Well, I don't know. I mean, he's got enough talent to win this game.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, it's at every position.
He's got enough talent where there's no excuse for losing this game. That probably means he's going to lose, by the way.
Well, I mean, if they go as Khalil Tate goes, so if he has a good game, it's no problem. But as we've seen in the past in a lot of Pac-12 games, Khalil Tate has made untimely errors, either interceptions, fumbles. So it's really on his development. If he's developed, which he should be now, he's an upperclassman. There's no way they lose this game. They just can't. I mean, they do. I mean, you're talking Sumlin in his second season's already on the hot seat. I mean, that's just that.
I feel like if Mike Shula can go over to Hawaii and drop a game over there, I think that someone should be able to do the same thing.
Well, he certainly should. He should be able to win the game, but he certainly could lose the game. Hawaii isn't picked very high this year in the Mountain West Conference. They just gave their head coach Nick Rolovich a 1-year extension, so he's on definitely a prove it. So he's got a lot to prove. I think 8 wins probably saves his job, but I just looking at their schedule, I just don't see 8 wins. I just don't see the talent. They got a couple nice pieces on defense, but offensively,
what's the problem with June Jones? What is he, like 90 now?
Yeah, he's been gone for a little bit.
Fuck it, hire Glanville, Jerry Glanville.
I remember him.
What's he? He's like 102, isn't he?
I said Jerry. I think Jerry's in at least his mid-70s.
Oh, he's got to be older.
Well, but but mid-70s is like the new mid-50s.
It is.
They got a pill and a shot for everything now.
I don't think those black leather pants are going to breathe on an 80-degree Hawaiian sideline.
Well, somebody just needs to get in his ear and just tell him to wear some shorts.
Jerry Glanville.
Wear those khaki shorts.
He was one entertaining coach, was he not?
Absolutely.
He was like the midget Muhammad Ali. And people talk about Saban being a midget. No.
Pull up his Wikipedia. Let's see how tall he was.
I will. You're right. He's in his mid. He's 77.
I bet they don't tell him. I bet they don't say on his Wikipedia how tall he is.
I bet they do. I bet
they don't.
Not on there, but I can look it up.
Jerry Glanville's height.
His favorite game was to bet opposing coaches in the NFL that Brett Favre, when he was with the Falcons, couldn't throw the football into the third deck at Fulton County, and then the Georgia Dome the one year there at the Georgia Dome. He'd call him Mississippi. Hey, Mississippi, come over here, throw the ball in the third stands for $100.
I bet you ain't gonna find out how tall he was on the internet.
God damn it! If I
blocked that, he purposely paid some people to block that shit.
If I had Google Home here, I would find it out right fucking now. God damn it!
Definitely not a tall man. No.
No, my guess is
I
that
can't believe you're hating on him. Like, you're still looking for this shit. You gonna put a question mark in it like it's gonna make it's gonna pop up faster. Shut the fuck up.
God damn
believe you.
It's a do-out. We'll find out how tall Jerry Glanville is.
Yeah,
All right,
I mean,
hey.
seriously, we're having a problem finding this. I mean, you can't just like Google how tall was Jerry Glanville and
Come
just
on,
pop right up.
If anybody's watching right now, find
And
out.
any member of the Jerry Glanville family, give us a call right now on our hotline. We'll flash the number up on screen here in just a moment. So we need answers, goddammit.
I remember Norm Chow, Landon Beeman. You ready to talk about some Gators and Hurricanes?
Let's get to it. Yeah, this is the main entree.
I think this is going to be an excellent game. I really do. Both teams are returning off of really good years defensively. Florida, I don't know. There's a lot of different things you could say about Felipe Franks, but just a true, awesome, dynamic quarterback is not one of them. He's just not. He averaged like 130 yards a game last year.
Yeah, it's just not. He's not an exciting player. He's I guess you could say he gets the job done, but
barely. I mean,
barely.
but I really think that's more of a testament. We've seen this, as Alabama fans, we've seen this in Alabama teams gone by, the ones that weren't really that dynamic offensively. Maybe we had a good running back or two. But the quarterback was kind of vanilla. And, it was just enough to get the job done because the defense was just so fucking lights out.
Well, that's what speaks to Nick Saban being such a great coach. I mean, let's look at his first 4 national championships at Alabama. You got McCarron for 1. McElroy for the first one, McCarron for 2, and then Coker, I think, was the 4th one.
Yeah, I mean none of those were exciting quarterbacks to watch. They had flashes here and there.
But it was just a testament to the defense he built and the offensive lines he built, and obviously the great running backs that he recruited there. I mean, that we were talking the other night about kind of Alabama getting back to their roots, and we're not but 4 seasons removed from Derrick Henry rushing for over 2,000 yards. I mean that I don't think people give that season enough credit what he did there. Just absolutely carrying the rock over and over and over again and pounding teams into submission. I mean that formula still wins.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's only wins when you have a dynamic defense.
Did anybody catch Jimmy Johnson talking to his team?
No.
Sorry, talking to the Hurricanes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was inspired. If I was there, I would have been, pretty excited.
Miami is returning the number 4 total defense in the nation.
Yep.
Now, they have had some key losses in the offseason to graduation, particularly in safeties. They're starting 2 new safeties.
And they wasted all that time on that Ohio State quarterback.
But here's the that's the other side of this coin too. Now he is being reported as and I can't remember the fellow's name, the one that was the backup last year that instead of fighting for his job, fighting field for the job, he just went ahead and bolted for Miami. And when he got to Miami, he had to fight their freshman for a job, and which was
talking Tate Martell.
Yeah, Tate Martell. And now he has lost the starting position, and from reports, he's practicing with the wide receivers. So we might be looking at a position change here.
Yeah, I was say I haven't seen his name enter the transfer portal because that's what I think everyone kind of surmised he was going to do. But okay, I mean, I doubt he'll be able to crack Miami's wide receiving group, which is not the best in the country, but it's still definitely has some talent.
But that's interesting to have a wide receiver in, and that kind of opens the avenue a little bit for some trickery in the offense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, assuming Martell knows the playbook, I think that was also kind of some of the issues he had at Ohio State as well as down at Miami. Kind of more shocking thing is that N'Kosi Carey, the quarterback from last year, didn't win the job. It's redshirt freshman Jaron Williams, who, from what I gathered, didn't play very much, if at all, last year.
No, he took 3 snaps. I think he threw for 17 yards last year. That was it. I mean, again, he's a freshman. His high school career was pretty promising. Came out of Georgia. not too far from where you're at right now, was actually the number 7 quarterback in the nation at the time. So he came in. There were actually times where they wanted to put him in a little bit more last year, and they wanted to go ahead and let him, I guess, fulfill his freshman, obligation and split time between the other 2 quarterbacks that they had. So I don't know. Miami's really there's a lot of unknowns here. Manny Diaz is coaching his very first collegiate game as a head coach, which is that's kind of cool.
Absolutely. I think Diaz is the right fit for Miami. He gets the Miami culture, gets the scene there, and I think he's a good recruiter.
I mean, that's home for him. I mean, his dad was the mayor there, for Christ's sake.
I mean, obviously we've talked about the challenges there of the financial commitment the university has to the football program, and obviously facilities, which are of second note at current time. But if he wins this game, you look at Miami's schedule after this game, it's pretty light. I mean, if they win this game, they should be sitting at 5-0 or 6-0, midway through the season.
Yeah, and that would be very important for momentum on the back half of the season as they try to work their way through the ACC.
As they inch toward the ACC championship game versus
and the inevitable
Clemson.
Yeah, the inevitable matchup against Clemson. Reality check.
Yep.
So, but then again, I mean,
rivalry game,
because there are so many unknowns about Miami, particularly at the top at quarterback and the head coach. I mean, this is going to be an exciting game to watch just to see what Miami's going to do. Is this going to be the same Miami that Mark Richt walked away from, or was Mark Richt in the middle of actually building something here, particularly with the quarterback?
Just got tired and said, "Fuck
Just
this."
got tired and said, "Fuck it." I mean,
I really think that's what he said, because we saw him tonight. Tonight's the premiere night of the ACC network, and he was looking dapper and relaxed and refreshed on the set there. So I think he was just tired of coaching, to be honest with you. I think he just didn't have it in him anymore after so many. I mean, however many years you talk, including when he was an assistant coach.
A lot of people don't realize
coaching.
A lot of people don't realize at this point, especially the newer generation, that when he came to Georgia, he put Georgia on. I mean, he won 2 SEC titles at Georgia in like the first 5 or 6 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think 2002 they finished 3rd or 4th in the country.
Yep,
a very quiet.
Beat the hell out of Florida State, which was his mentor Bobby Bowden in a bowl game, and just handled them easily. And I don't know. I mean, they were the team to beat for a few years in the SEC.
Yeah. The only game that I can surmise that kind of knocked Richt from before the death knell, which was the Bama blackout game.
Blackout game, yeah.
But before that was they were projected to, I think, win that Sugar Bowl against West Virginia, and West Virginia jumped all over them.
I remember.
With Noel Devine and Steve Slayton and Pat White. I think it was like 35-7 at one point in that game. Now they came back late in the game to make it a little closer than what it ultimately ended up being. But when you saw that, you just said, "Well, is this really the guy that's going to win a national championship?" I think most people said no, and then, the Alabama game a few years later kind of put the nail in that coffin. Like, yeah, he's good. They're going to probably win 9 or 10 games a year, but he's not going to win a national championship.
Justin Pike. We are officially giving you a shout-out.
President Pike.
President Pike.
Yeah, because currently we are without a president, so we're going to have to kind of
acting President Pike?
He is the acting President Pike until we have a...
until Sean Devine gets elected next year?
That could happen. I'm sure the field's going to be wide open.
No politics for Sean, right?
You're a lover.
No, I'm not,
You're a lover, not a fighter. Yeah.
I prefer the information. That's kind of my avenue. I can't lead the group. That's for more grandiose folks than myself.
Sure.
But
it's really just an acting job. That's all it is. Of course, that's kind of what being president of the United States is kind of like.
Yeah, it really is. President of anything is kind of just a spokesperson position.
Yeah, because there's always a group of people behind closed doors who will kill your ass in a heartbeat if you fuck up.
Yeah, sometimes you become a target, and that's not good.
No.
Yeah. C. Kennedy.
Well. So y'all want a sneak peek? We got a couple minutes here. You want a sneak peek into next week and what's coming up?
Well, can I give you just a couple more on the Miami Florida game here?
Absolutely.
So here's a fun little side note that I gleaned after doing some research for this game. First off, Miami does lead the series, 29 wins to 26 losses and no ties. The first game was in 1938 in Gainesville, which Miami won. Miami has the current streak lead, which was 2013. They won 21-16. But here's a fun fact. So this used to be a rivalry game that had a trophy that they played for. They played for the Seminole War Canoe,
Really?
which was an actual full-size canoe carved out of a 200-year-old cypress tree that was struck by lightning. And they played for it for a number of years until Florida ended the series in the late 80s. And Miami has the canoe in their Sports Hall of Fame in Coral Gables. And the point of contention is the trophy is not up for this game because Miami will not unretire the trophy until Florida agrees to an annual series. So that was a fun little note.
That's interesting.
That would be very interesting, and that would actually I mean, that's how you go about something like that.
The problem with that is, and see, I think Florida could pull it off right now, but Florida has, they've got their SEC rival, their East rivals. They've got Florida State every year. I don't know if they want to schedule themselves to what if Miami and Florida State get really good again?
Which could happen.
Right.
It certainly could happen.
And then they're playing their conference schedule, and then Miami and Florida State every year. I mean, that's enough to probably knock you out of contention every year.
Perhaps.
True, but I think we had talked about this before. Assuming the SEC and the ACC stay at an 8-game conference schedule and don't go to the 9-game, you got 4 non-conference games. I certainly don't see a problem with there being 2 of the 4 being competitive games.
Well, Saban right now he's pushing for, because I don't think the SEC wants to go to 9 games. So I think what Saban is saying is, look, we don't have to go to 9 games if we will all schedule 10 Power 5 teams every year.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that would be fine too. Either or.
Right.
And look, to be fair, Florida opened up the last year with Charleston Southern. I mean, come on now. This is a much sexier matchup. Nobody was talking about the Florida Charleston Southern.
Alabama's played teams of that vein every year.
What are you talking about?
Tell them, Sean.
We play one of the toughest schedules in America. What are you talking about?
Well, Alabama certainly usually starts off with a premier opponent.
Duke.
And like they played Duke. USC.
Those Duke Blue Bombers.
Yeah.
And they played Penn State.
Remember when we played FSU and it was number 1 versus number 2 and nobody
No, it was
ever.
like number 3, I think.
Yeah. That's what ended Jimbo Fisher's tenure at FSU.
I mean, they were number 3. I didn't know that meant they were only going to win 3 games.
Yeah.
But
wait a minute. Hang on, I think had one for that.
It's good for the game, and certainly you're right, Doug. You're gonna risk possibly being knocked out, but I think that's the trend we're heading towards. I mean, you see it with all the different programs that are scheduling.
Well, it's happening across the country. People are refusing to come and pay top dollar for shitty games.
Yep.
I mean, let's be honest. Like, do you really want to see? I mean, as great as it is when Alabama wins, do you really want to see them beat a team 62-3 with a game and the backups are in for basically the entire second half?
Well, the thing that I don't like is the back chatter. You played a little weak ass schedule, regardless of the fact that And again, I'm just using Alabama as an example here. But, Alabama has opened the season up or had those couple little cream puff games in the middle of some teams that were just absolute. There was no chance whatsoever that they would ever even, come close to within winning the game. And all of the little backbiting at the end of the season about your, pussy-ass schedule.
I have a suggestion. You know how all the little teams are worried about losing this revenue because of the trend that's happening? Why don't we have a 2-game preseason? And then everybody can get their fill out.
So then you have the issue of potential player injuries.
Yeah.
Well, you got that in practice.
But at the same time, you could also use them as warm-up games for some of your, 3rd and 4th stringers.
You got that if you're practicing hard. You've got that you've got that problem anyway. So
yeah, a number of programs. I know
and then,
Alabama's had a couple
these
injuries
guys
in
go
camp.
ahead and
Notre Dame's had a few. So yeah, I'd be fine with maybe a one game preseason against a little sister of the poor, so to speak.
Yep.
I don't see a problem with that.
LSU does because remember that Troy game? That was supposed to be one of those games. That was their homecoming game.
Yeah, that's true.
That's very true. Yeah.
Well, Sean, we're fixing. Go ahead.
I had a suggestion. I mean, at this point, they're saying that, Alabama's not playing anybody. When are you guys just start scheduling Tennessee as your first game of the year? I mean, that game hasn't been really competitive the last few years. So
yeah, we need to just go ahead and get that one over with at the beginning of the season and get it out of the way.
If there's a preseason, we could just stick it in the preseason.
That's what I'm saying. I don't see any reason why we have to keep playing Tennessee year in and year out. There are some traditions that need to be broken.
Keith Fletcher, are you still on? If you're still on, do you have a problem with Alabama moving Tennessee to preseason?
Yeah.
Sean,
but I really think the last point on the Florida-Miami game that Shannon had mentioned is that Florida did have momentum. They had a lot of momentum last year. I know they didn't win the East, but they made a New Year's Six game. They beat the hell out of Michigan.
Dog shit out of Michigan.
And then something has gone wrong in that program where they've had, 9 transfers in the offseason?
Yep.
And we have no explanation for why this is. So something is seriously wrong there when you lose. And these are top-notch recruits that they had.
So let me ask you right now, what do you think? What is your prediction for this game? Just throw it out there.
Well, I think Florida wins the game, but I think it's close. I think it's something like 24-20.
Yep.
Florida is a 7.5.
I feel you. That's exactly what those kind of numbers have been going through my head. I think I was thinking 27-23 the other day.
I'm certainly rooting for Miami in the game because I think college football is better when Miami's good.
Yep.
But I just looking at it on paper, and it's going to be in the Citrus Bowl, so you're probably going to have it's 60,000 seat stadium. You're probably going to have about 45,000 Florida fans and 15 to 20,000 Miami fans if they decide to go. So basically kind of a pro Florida crowd. So yeah, I think a 24-20 or 27-24 Florida win is probably the outcome, but I think it's going to be a damn exciting game. And really the guys to watch is that Miami linebacking core. That's an aggressive linebacking core.
I'm saying right now I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. Miami 24, Florida 20. I think Miami's going to win this one. I really do. I got that feeling.
Sean, we appreciate it, and we'll be seeing you regularly. So
I appreciate you, gentlemen. You guys have a great night. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care, brother.
All right. When we come back, we're going to go to a commercial. When we come back, we're going to reveal the preseason life championship poll, and then after that, we got Dane Kelley coming on.
Fuck yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Please consider donating to the Smackle de Jesus Cash for Rust charity. Let's help this Smack legend in his greatest hour of need. Thank you in advance for your most generous donation.
This ad has been brought to you by Doyle Hargraves Construction and Uncle Harvey's Tree Service.
You expect a hemorrhoid medicine to relieve pain and itch, but you get an extra therapeutic action with Preparation H. It helps speed relief to inflamed hemorrhoidal tissue with oxygen action. A special medicine in Preparation H accelerates the absorption of pure oxygen to help shrink swelling of inflamed hemorrhoidal tissue fast. And of course, Preparation H often relieves pain and itch for hours. When you choose a hemorrhoid medicine, remember, oxygen action is special with Preparation H.
Smacking Off invites you to join us on the podcast. If you have an opinion on an upcoming game, some commentary on your conference, or want to roll with one of your fellow smackers on air, hit us up. You can message us at the Smacking Off or X's and O's Facebook pages, email me at maddenshannon@toothfairy.com, or call us on the Smack line, 304-508-BAIT. And as always, fuck your team.
I want to bite your finger. It's a Dracula game. Just set the clock. Just try your luck.
If Dracula's cape opens, you have to put your finger in his mouth and press the lever. If he leaves a mark on your finger, you have to start over again.
He didn't bite me!
If you can sneak all the way around Dracula's house, you'll win the game.
You're not supposed to bite people.
It's a Dracula game.
I want to bite your finger from Hasbro.
You getting hot? Yeah, you getting thirsty? Yeah, this is a job for Kool-Aid. Hi, Kool-Aid!
Oh yeah, crash bang boom bam. Kool-Aid wipes out thirst for you.
Oh, yeah.
Crash a bang a boomer with a big bright smile and a fun taste too.
Oh, yeah. Super, hey, your friend's cool. Our friend's Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid brand soft drink mix.
Oh yeah.
Our audio-only podcast is hosted at podcastgarden.com/podcast/smackingoff. Or find us on Google Play Music. Or on iTunes.
Are you irritated with something we said on the podcast? Well then fuck you. Call the Smack line and tell us all about it at 304-508-BAIT. Don't be a pussy fuck boy. Call the Smack line today. Messages left on our Smack line will be used at the end of Smacking Off the podcast episodes.
And here's our preseason Life Championship Top 10, brought to you by
Badmont 30s, because who the fuck can afford Goodyear?
and by
Dr. Thunder not nearly as good as Dr. Pepper, but a hell of a lot cheaper.
number 10, the Miami Hurricanes. Number 9, the Ohio State Buckeyes. Number 8, the Georgia Bulldogs. Number 7, the Utah Utes. Number 6, the Texas A&M Aggies. Number 5, the LSU Tigers. Number 4, the Texas Longhorns. Number 3, the Oregon Ducks. Number 2, the Florida Gators. And the number 1 team, the defending Life champions for 2018, the Michigan Wolverines.
Fuck yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
All right. Anybody's got a problem with this poll? Take a good look at this picture right here.
Alex
These
Bryan, Alan Foxworth, Tyler Scott, Tiggy Doms, and a couple other people. Who else was it?
We can wait for it to pop up on this screen.
Yeah, it'll pop up on this screen. Yeah, Jamie Gibson and Kyle Golick.
Yep. Go after these motherfuckers.
Yeah. We've actually doxed every single one of them. We have all of their addresses and phone numbers available, so just hit us up after the show.
Yeah. So, Dane, what's up?
Dane Kelley, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give him a big hand.
Woo! What's up, guys?
Wrong one.
That was Bionic Man.
Yeah.
That was fucking sweet. Hey,
Yeah,
man, that Life Championship.
It's correct.
You still there?
I'm here.
Dane got real quiet for a second. It sounded like somebody
So
walked in
that was the
room.
end of what you were saying, that Life Championship?
No, that shit's fucking great. I've got feedback going on because I'm watching the fucking live feed while I'm talking to you. So.
Hell yeah, that's right. It's like an acid trip almost. Isn't it? You ever done
It
the acid
was,
before?
man. Holy shit.
You've done the acid before, I'm sure.
Once.
It was
enough
crazy. It
for
was
me.
crazy, wasn't it? Woo, crazy! All the crazy lights and shit. Yeah.
Oh man, my world came unglued there briefly.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
Excellent.
Hey man, I like Michigan being number 1. That's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, that's the only poll that Michigan should ever be number 1 at.
And oddly enough, Alex Bryan had nothing to do with that.
Absolutely nothing at all.
He didn't even. I don't think Michigan was in his top 10, to be honest. I'm just.
I'd put
I'm fucking with
Florida
y'all.
at number 2. Is that where they were at?
They are definitely a number 2.
Let me look.
Oh, that's fucking.
They're a number 1 at being a number 2.
Oh shit! I actually got this picture up. We could have been looking at it the whole time.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Yeah, there you go. Got to do the technology.
Florida is number 2.
Yes.
And then
So you guys are split on Miami and Florida?
Yeah, I think Miami. There's too many signs that point to Miami creeping up and winning this game.
I like Bethune-Cookman this weekend. Are they playing?
Cookman? I have no idea. Hey, is that there? Do they still got a football team?
Of course.
Excellent.
That's where Martell would transfer to, according to the thing that Tiggy Doms put out right after the.
Tiggy, he has had a hell of a summer.
Is Tiggy the thing that is he the guy that put out the Feinbaum thing?
Which one? What is the Feinbaum thing?
Well, what did he say? He said Clemson beats an injured Alabama one freaking time, and then now they're the team to beat. What did he say? Do you remember?
Oh
did you see
God, was that?
I think I can tell you this. I don't know that it was Tiggy, but
it was probably Paul Feinbaum. He's had some pretty strong words with Clemson fans.
That's
just
it.
Oh,
That's
man,
why Tiggy.
Fuck Feinbaum. What's wrong with him?
That's just it. That's why Tiggy pounced on this, because Feinbaum has been saying shit, but the one quote I can't find anywhere is the one that is spreading around right now.
Let me tell you something right now. This show is an evolution of what Paul Feinbaum started, because both Doug and myself, we grew up listening to Paul Feinbaum and Birmingham radio, local radio. When he was nobody,
Right.
he was a writer over at the Post-Herald, which was a dying newspaper that has now since died.
I will say this real quick: he is not an Alabama fan.
No.
He does know where the rabid football fans are, and he knows
He knows where the side of his bread that has the butter on it.
He's
Did
really
he go to Tennessee or something?
Yeah,
Yes.
he's a Vol fan. He's a Vol grad.
He's not a fan. He's just
a Vol fan.
He's a troll.
He's a Vol fan. He's acting like he's not a Vol fan, because the Vol fans are trailer people.
Right. He don't want to be associated with that fucking trash.
I don't blame him.
So I'm going with Miami on this opening kickoff Saturday.
I am too, man. I
just got a feeling about it. And I don't even think it'll be close. I think it might be upwards of 2 touchdowns.
Well, both teams are returning excellent defenses, but the new quarterback, the drive for Manny Diaz to really make a statement here. I don't know, Mullen. I don't know if he's going to come out with a little bit of swagger after that Michigan win, because that was a hell of a win.
It was
against a really,
even though half their team didn't play, but
yeah, there is that.
Let's not get bogged down in a bunch of silly detail, man.
Yeah, we don't need any detail like that.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
Hey, Florida A&M is playing the 2017 national champions.
UCF.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, fuck those guys. UCF.
I agree.
Why isn't UCF in the Live Championship? Because they're ranked.
They did win the Live Championship Bowl performance. In 18.
They did. They definitely did.
But anyway, man, we gotta have you and Mafilio Kifu on when A&M comes to town. Dane.
Oh, he's definitely down.
I've already hit him up on
privately
that. Yeah.
about it,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he's ready to do it.
You
guys ought to just add him on here any damn time, because he's fucking hilarious.
Oh, he is. He's a funny guy to roll with online too.
Yes.
Even though he's a fucking Aggie fan,
All right, what do you guys? How bad do you guys think Georgia Tech will beat Clemson next week?
10 points to
no more triple option.
No,
is that
No
correct?
more
Yeah,
triple option.
no more triple
No.
option. So yeah, there will be. It's actually going to be an actual football game. So I don't know. I don't expect. I don't expect that Clemson's going to lose in the regular season. I really don't. I know everybody's calling for them to lose once, but I just don't see it. I can't find the win. Or excuse me, I can't find the loss.
I mean, Syracuse is interesting. It always is.
Yeah,
it has been in the last couple of years. And NC State traditionally.
Clemson
it's usually pretty tough.
Is this the year that Clemson finally pulls away from that team? Because really, to be quite frank, I don't think that that Clemson got near the amount of respect that they did going into that final game. There wasn't too many people outside of South Carolina that was giving Clemson much of a chance in that game at all. and they came out and did what they did. Is this the year that Clemson finally pulls away from that perception and becomes that Alabama-esque team that is expected to be at the top of their game in every game? I mean, I guess that's really what separates the men from the boys. So,
I just got a message from Dane.
I don't know what happened yet. As soon as I brought that up, he dropped the call. I don't blame him.
Dane, are you not there anymore?
He's gone. He don't know what happened. The call failed.
No, it didn't.
It failed.
Oh.
Dane Kelley, ladies and gentlemen. He's back.
Technology got me. I don't know what the fuck just
You're
happened.
probably you'd be happy to know that you were gone at a time that Shannon would have probably pissed you off with the question that he asked.
Oh, well, ask the question, man.
No, I'm it's over with now. It's done.
I'm going to say yes, Shannon, on that one.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Go ahead and ask him.
Take a shit on my show.
Ask him.
Dane, do you think this is in all honesty, do you think this is the year that Clemson pulls away from the perception as Alabama's little brother and is finally now the the team to beat?
I think we already have. I think the national championship game kind of sparked that.
I didn't watch it. What happened?
We put up a few points.
Okay.
Alabama put up fewer.
Alabama won though, right?
Did they?
I can't remember.
I don't know. I've got early onset Alzheimer's.
There's around that.
That's last year, man.
That whole week is a blur
We're
to
on
me.
to
I don't remember much about what
We're
happened.
both 0-0, son.
I've thought to Google it, just to see what happened to that game, but I just can't bring myself to do it for some reason or another.
I just can't believe when you look at Alabama and Clemson in the last 4 years I mean, their records are identical. The wins over each other are identical. Both teams have a blowout win, except Clemson's is a little bit more impressive.
But it really is
a touchdown.
It's like Alabama and Clemson are playing in a completely different league than the rest of the whole entire of college football. Of all those,
it's a little unfucking fair to be.
I mean, it kind of is. It almost, it's made being a fan of, and I'm sure you could attest to this, it's made being a fan of both fan bases just almost embarrassing to the point. I mean, you can't really go in and fuck with people because you feel bad for them because they root for a shit team.
Yeah. There's only one program right now that I think is close, but I don't know about their head coach.
And that would be...
It's definitely Georgia, man, because, goddamn, they've recruited as good as both of us, and they've recruited better than Clemson over the past 2 years, not this current class.
They edged Alabama out, what was it, last year?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they've got the players,
edged out Alabama last year?
That would have been Georgia, not
the
last recruiting cycle, but the recruiting
before that.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Which is supposed to be pretty much where the heart and soul of Georgia's team is this year. All of those badass 5-star recruits, the ones that stuck around, are still, that's who we're supposed to be watching play this year. So, and again, everybody's kind of been quiet on Georgia. They just kind of throw Georgia's name up there. Yeah, Georgia will be back in the mix again. They're probably going to lose at the end of the year, but they'll be back in the mix again.
Does this guy look gay to you? Does anybody know Pedro, the fantastic painter?
He's not real.
No, he's real.
No.
He's got 130 mutual friends with me.
You need to get new
friends.
This
is Roddy, isn't it?
You need to get new friends.
That's Roddy, isn't it?
Probably is. Yeah. Whatever happened to those guys? That seems like a year ago that happened.
It was last Tuesday.
Yeah. All right. So, Shannon, other than Georgia, do you think there's anybody else anywhere in the neighborhood of Clemson and Alabama?
LSU. I'm just kidding. Y'all calm down. Y'all calm down. Everybody just chill the fuck out. Coach O is still
What year
the worst.
is this, anyway?
2004.
Oh, Boise State.
Yeah, Boise State looks really good.
They're coming on.
Jeremy Wonders, that one's for you.
Yep. You know Jeremy Wonders?
I finally accepted his friend request. I buried the hatchet.
And then y'all sit down and talk all morning?
No, we didn't talk about anything.
Okay.
No. We're just Facebook friends. We're not homos.
Let's get some dead space. Hold on. Everybody shut up for a minute.
That was a great answer. I guess nobody.
Boise.
Okay.
Boise.
Who else? What else?
I mean, really, though, there is nobody. I mean, everybody. You could have at one point in time kept Urban Meyer at Ohio State, but Ohio State couldn't keep Urban Meyer there. Probably for the better.
They are liable to turn into a fucking dumpster fire pretty quickly.
Perhaps. I don't know. I'm still waiting for the other shoe to drop with Lincoln Riley. He seems to have things under control at Oklahoma.
Can I go ahead and put this? This is the most interesting prediction I've seen on the page today. Chris Scully has predicted that Florida Atlantic is going to go to the Horseshoe and beat Ohio State.
Kiffin is going to beat Ohio State in their own house.
Yep.
Wow. Stranger things have happened.
I can get behind that line of thinking. I really can.
You'd be a lot more up on it if they were playing Oklahoma, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You hate Oklahoma, don't you?
I love Oklahoma.
You
mean,
love to see
it's
them
a
lose.
shit state. It's not anywhere I'd want to live.
Oklahoma sucks balls.
Tiggy, about a month ago or maybe less, predicted that Oklahoma's going to go to UCLA and lose at Los Angeles. I think the second game of the year.
Now, look, I could see that. I could see that going down if Chip Kelley can find a fucking quarterback.
I really do like Chip Kelley. How many games they win last year? They did beat USC, but I think everybody
wasn't
did.
many.
Yeah.
Maybe
four or five. But I mean, I would be really shocked if it's not at least a 2-game improvement this year.
Yeah, I would be too.
So,
and we're not talking about you, Gus Malzahn. So you need to win more than the 7 or 8.
That fucking guy! Wow.
I mean, we all know he's going to get fired this season. Just where's he going to go after this?
I don't know.
Are they really going to fire him, though? I mean, they, backed the fucking armored car up to his front door 2 years ago.
Look, and that was a curious... it was dumb for all of the Auburn trustees, of course, but that was a curious situation. He actually, and everybody can talk about his coaching ability, that was one of the most Svengali coaching moves I've seen in quite some time. Because all he did was basically take a rumor that he was headed to Arkansas. Hell, he may have fucking started the rumor if you think about it.
Does anybody know what it?
That's what I would have done if he actually started that rumor and made that rumor. Because I think we even talked about that rumor on the show. That would be fucking epic. I would actually have so much more respect for Gus Malzahn, or as much respect as I can have for the head coach.
Does anybody know what a Demogorgon is? By the way,
a what?
Sean
what in the fuck?
Sean Devine says Dane is right. 11 killed the Demogorgon.
Yeah, that's some Dungeons and Dragons shit. We can't have that on our show.
I think it's Stranger Things reference, but I'm not sure. I know the girl in Stranger Things. His name's 11. So
okay.
I haven't actually watched it, but I'm meaning to at some point.
Britta's on it. I think Britta's all caught up with it. I'm actually watching that Mindhunter thing. Have you seen Mindhunter yet?
Mm-mm.
I hate cop shows. I hate anything to do with cops and forensics and stuff like that because they're always badly scripted. It's actually really good. And they're bending history a little bit. But the FBI profiler John Douglas.
I'll have to get on that.
It's kind of a story of
As soon as I get caught up on the whole back catalog of The Price is Right, I'm gonna be right on that shit.
You're not watching all The Price is Right. There's no way you could ever watch the whole entire series of Price is Right. You know how many years it would take you to do that if you had to watch?
Well, they put a new show out every day, didn't they?
If you watched, yeah, they do.
Is Drew Carey still doing it?
I don't see why not.
Jesus Christ.
I work during the day. I'm a man. Look, Price is Right has been on. For how long has Price is Right been on?
A damn long time.
What?
Since the 60s.
Longer than I've been alive.
Since the 60s, I'm sure of it.
So we'll just say, just for argument's sake, we'll say since the 60s, that would be 60 years ago.
Yeah.
For 60 years.
60 years ago?
Yeah.
I mean, I was born right after the 60s, and I ain't 50 yet.
All right,
why not?
I'm pulling it.
You're not 50 yet? I could have swore you were in
What
your
you mean
50s.
is 1960, literally 1960. Yeah.
I don't know, something like
And
that.
we're-
The
yeah,
60s.
that's-
No, I'm saying 60 years. Because it's 2020 now.
Gotcha.
All right, so okay, then we'll say 50 years. How about we'll just do 50 years.
50-something years.
50-something years, and they put out how many episodes? What, like 200 episodes a year?
Mm-hmm.
So that's 200 times 50.
It started in 72.
Oh, really? I always thought it started earlier than that. So 72, that would be. Do your math real quick. Not quite 50 years.
Sure.
No, it's 50. No, not 50 yet. 40,
No,
48. 48.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So 48. So 48 years. 48 years times 200 is what?
More than Gus Malzahn's bio.
So that's 10,000. Carry the 4 divided by 8. So we'll say roughly around 10,000 episodes. 10,000 episodes. They were all an hour long, so you need 10,000 hours. There's 24 hours in a day. 24 goes into 10,000. Are you all writing this down?
I am.
So it would take you, like, literally, you would have to watch TV nonstop for well over a year.
What you do is you
can't sleep.
You just
can't
grab
eat,
one from each
you
week.
You can't shit. You can't do anything. Your Price is Right is your whole entire.
You just
existence.
grab one good one from each week.
Yeah, but you'll never catch up that way.
Real quick, we got to go back to Malzahn 1 second.
Oh, fuck.
All right, so
you want to go and suck the life out of this conversation?
Well, here's the problem with this. See, if you don't have somebody lined up, I mean, how much is it going to cost to fire this guy? Do we know?
Well, the price has gone down now. Now that we've lapped a few years on that.
The price is more right than it used to be.
He's got what, like 3-4 more years on us? 4 more years,
something like that.
Yeah. So that's 7 a year.
Okay.
So I mean, what, 28 million?
So you pay $28 million to get this guy out, right?
Huh.
You better have somebody lined up, and it needs to be a fucking home run. Because if it's not, you paid $28 million to get rid of this guy.
And that's
what happens if you bring a guy in and he don't win as much as Malzahn's winning?
And that's on top of all the money that they've paid out to their previous coaches, Tommy Tuberville and Gene Chizik, for years and years and years. They didn't work jobs there, and they were still getting checks.
I think Pat Dye's
Auburn's tired of doing that.
Pat Dye's still on the payroll too, I think.
Oh my Jesus. Okay, so this
Sean Devine,
that's
fake news, Sean. That was all camera tricks. Happy Gilmore with that ass.
$27 million.
You do what now? His buyout is 27 million. Say we were close. That's a lot of. Yeah, what's $3 million when we're talking about,
I like Walter Bryan. I like Sean Galooly. I like all these Auburn people. Y'all want to get up a GoFundMe for this shit?
Can we?
Yeah, we can do it.
Can we keep the money in case we don't come up? Because 27 million is a lot. It doesn't seem like a lot,
right?
But until you start,
if we get to
if you write the number 27 million, and once you add all those zeros, it's like, oh wow,
if we get to 22 million and we just split it 3 ways, me, you, and Dane.
I have no problem with that, actually.
To put this in perspective, okay, the former president of the university is being paid $4.5 million over 3 years to not be at the school anymore.
Sean, I'm not sure about that. I'll give Gary Patterson a call tomorrow. Could Auburn get Gary Patterson from TCU? How old is Gary Patterson?
No, I don't think Gary.
Isn't he he's in his upper 60s? Is he not?
He found a good fit for what he's got going on.
How about Dennis Franchione? What's he doing these days?
I like
it is absolute heresy, and because this discussion actually came up when Hurts entered the transfer portal, and of course there were a few haters that said, "Well, what if Auburn decides to get him?" There is no way in the hell that you could ever live down that situation if you were any kind of Alabama personnel,
right?
That would do that would jump ship and go to Auburn. I mean, maybe in the old days they
Brother
could get away
Oliver
with
did
it. Brother Oliver did. Brother Bill.
Yeah.
He most certainly did, that fucking turncoat.
Yep.
So that's when the whole Jalen Hurts thing came up, I just laughed my ass off. But for any coach that I could possibly think of, up to and including Mike Price, who is the only coach that never lost a game in Alabama history. If we were to give Auburn any coach whatsoever, we were just say no, we'll let this one go. It's definitely Dennis Franchione. Fuck Dennis Franchione's whole entire face. He's got to be in his 70s now too. How old is that fucker?
Yeah, he's getting up there.
Yeah, I hope he dies. I hope he dies of dick cancer.
Who are we talking to here? Because it says here that Dane Michael is in Facebook jail.
He is.
I'm in Facebook jail.
What'd you do now?
I posted a naughty meme on accident.
A what meme?
I was trying to post a meme, and I ended up posting one that was well, it definitely broke community standards.
I posted one up not long ago of a guy eating another guy's ass in public.
How'd that go over?
Dude, I mean, I didn't even barely hit send. I just kind of like brushed up against my phone screen and instantly got zucked. I mean, it was the quickest zuck I've ever encountered in my whole life. And it wasn't graphic. I mean, it wasn't anything graphic. It, definitely was like, why is that man standing behind that other man? But it left nothing to the imagination. I'll show it to you in a minute because I don't want to get zucked again. I'm probably going to get zucked just for even talking about it on Facebook.
So I posted this meme, and it was an accident. I meant to post the one next to it. I have an Android, so like it came.
Whoa! Don't blame that on Android versus the iPhone thing. I don't want to fucking hear that shit.
As soon as it posted, I was like, "Oh shit!"
Steve Jobs would have made sure I never posted that meme. Yeah.
I deleted it immediately, and then I got zucked. It didn't even matter. I deleted the motherfucker.
Yeah. Because you knew what you did. You basically expressed your guilt right there when you hit that delete button.
Right.
Facebook's like, no. We saw that. Hey, we saw that shit. I stored in my memory banks.
All right, I got some information here. Dennis Francione is 68, and Patterson is 59.
Now Patterson's still in good shape. Francione has long since expired. I'll never forget what was the score of that A&M Oklahoma game?
77-0.
Yeah, it was. There was no.
You remember what his catchphrase was? What he told all the players because Alabama, the NCAA was coming down on Alabama hard when he was there.
Yeah,
it was hold the rope.
Yeah.
Hold the rope.
There is actually one of our supply houses. Somebody's got one of those bobbleheads.
I had one. I sold it for $50.
They've got it hanging on there, but it has a little tiny noose hanging around its neck that somebody.
That was
put
that
on
rope.
years ago.
That was the rope.
Yeah, hold that rope, bitch, with your neck.
Yeah.
God, that man, I hate him so bad.
They had a public burning of those bobbleheads. That's why the ones that are left, if you find a collector.
I can't believe you sold it. You should have hung on to that bitch.
I just wanted it out of the house.
Why? Bad mojo.
Because I kept seeing it.
As soon as you sold it, suddenly they hired Saban and they righted the ship.
Yep.
Yeah. That's a great story.
It is.
It's amazing how that shit happens.
All right, Dane. Any parting words?
Yeah, I had a question, but you motherfuckers wanted to talk about Gus Malzahn.
Well, go ahead. We'll ask your fucking question, bitch.
What do you guys think about Arkansas? As far as this upcoming season.
You ready to wrap this up? Yeah, fuck Arkansas.
They may improve. I like Chad Morris. I
like Bielema too. Yeah. Brett Bielema was a hell of a likable guy. It never failed. I turned on so many different media outlets, and they always said the same thing. Brett Bielema's just a really likable guy.
I think they will improve. What did they win? Like 3 games last year?
Yeah, it was rough. 3 or 4.
I think they might hit 5 games. They've got three games on the schedule that I think are definite wins.
Yeah, I don't. There's so much that needs to be done at Arkansas. I don't even know where to begin with that one. So yeah, I mean, you'll see an improvement. I mean, anything's got to be an improvement over what they had last year. But I don't see him turning.
If they
around
get to
this
5
soon.
wins by mid-season or something, some crazy like that, we're gonna get Cowboy Adams on.
Now I'm gonna tell you what, Chad Morris would make a wonderful, absolutely wonderful offensive coordinator somewhere.
Yeah,
but I don't know about that coaching position.
I don't know if it's just it could just be the location.
It could be. Little Rock's a really nice place, Fayetteville's a really nice place, but there's not really much going on there. I think they got a Dairy Queen.
I like Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen's got shrimp.
All right, one more question before you cut me off. Missouri, how do you think they're going to do that?
Drew Lock he's
gone.
gone. Yeah, so they're lockless.
They're also in a postseason ban, so they can only play.
Don't they have a Clemson quarterback there?
Something like that.
Bryant.
Yeah,
I
Kelley
believe
Bryant.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I think they're kind of sneaky about their shit, Missouri. They always come out of nowhere, and for some reason they always beat the shit out of the Gators no matter what, it seems like.
Yeah, which they did last year.
It wouldn't shock me if
they beat them, but Locke didn't really put up like hella numbers. The rushers that they had, I mean, didn't do anything spectacular. They had one rusher for over 100 yards.
They'll be better than the Gamecocks.
But they had a very balanced attack, and that balanced attack, I mean, it tore the Gators to shreds.
They'll
I
be
don't
better
know why
than the
more
Gamecocks.
teams didn't watch that film afterwards.
I think they'll have a better record than the Gamecocks. Maybe better than Tennessee. Definitely better than Vanderbilt. Kentucky, I don't know. They'll be behind Georgia, probably Florida.
That's
maybe.
my big question, Marcus. Where's Kentucky going to be this year? Without Snell and without Josh Allen, is this really all about Stoops, or did he just happen to catch lightning in a bottle last season?
I'm pulling for Kentucky, so I'm the wrong person to ask because
I am too.
I'm pulling for him, so I'm gonna the way I answer is going to be affected by that. So.
Are you going to go ahead and stick your neck out right now and say that Kentucky's going to win the East?
No.
Okay.
No, but I do think they'll win. I think that they'll have a lot of wins. I think they'll win.
You still think they'll 8-9 games?
8 or 9 games.
Wow.
Yes.
That's wonderful for Kentucky.
I don't know. I just think Stoops has got it going, and he's got it. It's infectious at this point.
However, if Gus Malzahn at Auburn does the same thing, then yeah, I think they'll probably go ahead and pull the trigger. And now that $27 million figure that you just got a moment ago, Dane, was that if they fire him right now, right this second, or is that if they fire him at the end of the season?
It's for this year.
Okay, so
I don't know. It doesn't say about a season.
So if they'll shave off another $7 million. So that takes it down to $20 million, which is still an incredibly gaudy number, but it's still doable.
A gaudy number, and
for the money they have, the Auburn trustees have $20 million.
Well, what you
got
to realize is you got that amount, and that's not even touching another coach yet.
Not even close.
So I mean, they're going to spend their way into a situation where they're going to have to bring in a high school coach or something.
I'm telling you. I got 2 words for your ass. I got 2 words for your ass right now. The cheapest motherfucker who is the absolute best for the pound for pound, best for your dollar right now.
Right.
Bill Clark.
I agree.
UAB. Tremendous coach and can be bought for a song right now. I think UAB paid him like $800,000 last year. That's chicken feed.
You got any fuck yous to issue before we hang up?
No, but I do have a shout out for Mr. Pike, President Pike. Hello.
President Justin Pike.
Yeah, he requested a shout out.
Yes.
We gave him one earlier too, so that's 2 shout outs. That's he owes us $10 a shout out.
I'm going to go ahead and give out a shout out to Amy Sheffield Welch, who's been very busy offline in people's inboxes this week. Amy, this one's for you, girl.
And I want to thank all the people who are still big Family Smack fans and podcast fans that are not with us anymore. I don't know where they're at, but you know who I'm talking about.
You're talking about Roddy and Sean Cagle.
Those folks, yeah.
Yeah, Sean Cagle is still one of the worst guests we've had on this show, hands down.
Dane took a shit on the show, though, still.
Dane is one of the best guests that we've ever had on the show, and we look forward to having him again.
All right.
Oh.
That
Find Smacking Off the podcast on Facebook and on YouTube. And don't forget to watch our regular Facebook Live weekly episode on Sunday 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific.